iSupport v16 Release Notes. Knowledge Functionality Enhancements. Knowledge permission functionality has been added for viewing, creating, editing, and deleting knowledge entries. If approvals are enabled in Feature Basics, the Approved setting is now included here. It will appear on the Advanced tab in the Support Representative profile screen as before if role functionality is not enabled. These new permissions will affect the content and create options from the desktop, the Create Knowledge Entry prompt when closing an incident, and the new Knowledge Toolbar icon option on work item layouts. You can now include a configurable feedback prompt with 2 responses to display at the top of the Knowledge Entry screen on MySupport, and if enabled, to support representatives. You can also include a feedback field with the number of responses for each choice. Use the Feedback tab in the Knowledge Management Feature Basics screen to configure this feature. To display the feedback field with the number of responses for each choice, add the feedback field to the Knowledge Entry screen layouts, accessed via the Desktop and MySupport portals. Use the Knowledge Feedback data source to build views for knowledge feedback data. You can now use the Add Knowledge Entry to Chat icon to search knowledge entries and include a link via the chat window. Note that only knowledge entries designated as Approved External or Approved External Requires Authentication will be available for searching. Correspondence Improvements. A Copy Attachments to Correspondence Replies field has been added to the Global Settings screen. Enable it to automatically copy any attachments associated with correspondence when the Reply or Reply All function is used. It will be enabled by default. You can now select and apply a correspondence template by double-clicking the template name from the list in the correspondence screen. In the Correspondence Address Recipient fields, searches with 2 names separated by a space now match both names in the results instead of one of the names. Chart and View Enhancements. When formatting charts, you can now display bars vertically via the column chart type, adjust the positioning of the labels by 45 or 90 degrees, display counts as percentages, and specify the color of chart elements. For pie charts, you can adjust the position of the legend or hide it. A Use Selected Chart for Window Title setting has been added to the configuration settings for the Desktop Chart component. The Incident, Change, Problem, and Purchase View Designer data sources now have a new section that lists associated work item counts by type. Note that these fields always reflect the total count of associated items, even if the viewing support representative does not have access to all of the associated items. You can also add an associated work item count field to an incident, change, problem, or purchase work item layout. A number column has been added to work item lists displayed from the View menu and ticket counts options in work item screens. Archive and Database Maintenance Improvements. You can now use the Days of the Week setting to schedule the database maintenance and archive agents for certain days of the week. Archive permissions have changed from a yes/no setting to a separate reader setting for viewing archived work items and an editor setting for deleting via the work item screen of any archived record or from any archived record view. Feature Control Enhancements. A Create Subscription permission has been added to control access to the View Subscription functionality for support representatives. Select it to include the subscription icon in the View component on the desktop. An Upload File Type section has been added to the Global Settings screen to limit the file types that can be attached in the Attachments field for work items. When adding the file extension, do not include punctuation. For Incident, Problem, Change, and Purchasing Management in Feature Basics, None is now an option for the default work type field on the Work History tab. This will require selection in the work type field by the support representative in a work item screen. Also, there is now a setting for requiring an entry in the work history comment field if the save dialog is enabled. Performance and efficiency improvements. Bootstrap, jQuery, and 508 compliance elements have been updated in this release for better security, performance, and user experience. You may notice slight interface differences as a result of these updates. If you try to start a new session and you already have an open session in another browser or device, a prompt will now appear to clear the existing open session. When displaying incident views in the View component, you can now use the Associate to Problem option on the Action menu to associate multiple incidents with a problem record. Miscellaneous Enhancements. Microsoft Access Database Engine 2010 or newer is now supported for the Asset Customer Profile and Vendor Product Import features, so the Enable 32-bit Applications setting no longer needs to be set to true for those features. The Microsoft Access Object Library 12.0 must be installed, and only CSV and XLSX files are supported. You can now use the single sign-on integration screen to enable a third-party application, such as Shibboleth or Otka, to pass user credentials so that a user can sign in to the mobile interface with the same credentials that they use to log into another application. The Company Match Settings feature that matches the email domain of a new customer being created via email processing to other customers with the same email domain in order to attempt a match and set the company for the new user, now applies when creating a new customer profile record from a MySupport chat request. Customer custom fields are now included in the list for selection when configuring incident and change rule conditions. The maximum size of custom field labels has increased from 50 to 150 characters. That's it for an overview of the features in iSupport version 16. If you have questions, be sure to consult the online help. Our support team is available for a more in-depth walkthrough. Contact them by email at support@isupport.com and by phone at 360-397-1099, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. PST Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. PST Saturdays and Sundays for critical system failures such as installation errors, inability to log in, or inability to create work items. You can also go to mysupport.isupport.com, iSupport Software's technical support website, to chat with support representatives, submit and view incidents, search the knowledge base, view facts, submit ideas, and participate in the user discussion forum.